There's 3 simple tricks that can really help you nail your birds in flight shots. My coaching clients are always surprised how well they work, and it often solves their number one problem. And by incorporating these techniques into your practice, you'll be confidently tracking birds in flight and getting consistent shots in no time. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. I'm Sonia. I'm an ex-commercial photographer from the Sapphire Coast of New South Wales, Australia, and I really enjoy helping people make the most of their time in the field and improve their photography. But before we go into the 3 cheat codes and the number one problem, I want you to pretend that you're a world-class clay pigeon target shooter. Now imagine that you just won the lottery, so you decide to take a year off and just travel the world and enjoy yourself. A year later, do you think your skills would be the same as when you were regularly practicing? No, of course not. Shooting birds in flight is the same action without the bullets. It takes consistent practice to keep your hand-to-eye coordination sharp, which brings me to the first technique. Now, every time you see a flying bird, I want you to line it up in your sights and try and lock the focus on. Now, it doesn't matter if you're too far away, if your settings are all wrong, if the light is horrible, doesn't matter, because you're not going to take the shot. Well, maybe you are if everything lines up and it looks good. But the point is not to take the shot, but to put in the reps and build that muscle memory and build your hand-to-eye coordination, so you consistently get the bird in the center of the frame and focus locked on with minimal effort. I like to think of it as a big open-air video game where I've got to try and grab the bird with my focus. It's actually pretty fun, and it makes a huge difference to your skill level. Now, if you're wondering about settings, I do go over these in detail in my free Birds in Flight guide, which is linked below. It's everything from your focus pointer settings to which metering mode is best. So jump on that, and there's also a little cheat sheet that you can save to your phone with some suggested shutter speeds. Our next level up technique is panning. Learning to smoothly pan your camera and follow the bird achieves 2 things. Number 1, it's that hand-to-eye coordination thing again. And secondly, panning in the direction of the bird's flight means that you can shoot with slightly slower shutter speeds, which is great for image quality and dealing with low light. And speaking of low light, if you're looking for birds of prey in flight, they'll usually be hunting around dawn and around sunset, sometimes even after sunset. So having great technique is really going to help you in these more challenging low light conditions. Now back to panning. Your stance, it's really important. You want to smoothly pan, but you want to use your whole body. Tuck your shoulders in, tuck your elbows in quite close. Don't be like this, like you're the flying bird. Tuck your arms in, keep your camera stabilized next to your body, and move with your whole body. So swivel from the hips, even bending your knees a little bit can help here. The ideal outcome for panning is slightly slower shutter speeds, lower ISO, and a little bit of creamy motion blur in the background while the bird remains sharp. So a great time to practice panning is obviously when you're practicing the first technique. So when you're lining up your birds in sight, you can pan and practice your stance, practice your nice smooth motion, and you'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Not literally, of course. Well, at least I hope not. Now let's move on to the big problem. It's not a big problem, but it is a common problem. You raise the camera, you miss the focus on the first go, and even though you still have the bird in your sights and you're tracking it across the sky, the focus just won't cooperate and lock back onto the bird. And you know you're running out of time, and it's extremely frustrating. I'm sure you've been in this situation. I certainly have plenty of times. And if you're like me, it'll be the camera's fault, of course. So what's happening here is instead of your focus locking onto the bird, it's jumped all the way to infinity. It's focused on something in the distance, and now you're trying to bring it back to focus on the bird. But the thing is, your camera focuses much better forward than it does back. Now here's where we can deploy technique number 3, the pre-focus, and solve this problem really quickly, even if you've already lost that initial focus and you want to bring it back as quick as possible. Here's the way to do it. By pre-focusing on something a similar distance away, but not quite as far as the bird, we can ensure that the camera only needs to focus forward, and it's much more efficient at doing that. So we can do this preemptively before we've even tried to focus on the bird to enable a swift transition, or we can do it after we've lost focus and quickly point onto the ground or to a distant tree and then have another go at finding our bird. Now, I sometimes do this twice while a bird is tracking across the sky. With a little practice, you'll be amazed at how quick you can get at doing this and how it can instantly solve that problem of lost focus. And instead of you repeatedly just trying and getting nowhere, this will fix it, I promise. Give these 3 techniques a try. I'm sure they're going to rocket forward your birds in flight skills. With a little bit of consistent practice, you'll be amazed at the difference that they make. And don't forget my free guide linked in the description. It'll give you all the things you need to know about settings, and it's for every camera model. Happy birding. Talk to you soon.